Hello, welcome once again to Geektopia with me, Adam Carruthers. Today, it's a bit of a tech review as I pose the question, the all-important question, is the Nintendo Switch OLED worth getting? I recently got myself a brand new Nintendo Switch OLED and boy was I blown away. But you might be wondering if it's a big enough wow factor to upgrade. Firstly, if you don't have a Switch and you're contemplating getting on, like which model, I mean, let's not forget, there's also the Switch Lite, which is purely a portable gaming device app as well. Can't plug it into the TV, and even an enhanced version of the original, which gave better battery life. That was the selling point. That's the version 2. Well, straight up, if it's your first Switch, you have to get the OLED. Enough said. Let's dig into why I love the Switch OLED so much. Front and center, the screen. It's bigger. Oh, look at that. The original was 6.2 inches. The new one is 7 inches and fills up the device much better. No more super thick borders around the screen anymore. It just diminishes away. Not only is the size a noticeable difference, of course, but the screen itself is stunning. After all, it's in the name OLED. I know it's not coming across on camera. No need for the nitty-gritty details about pixel counts and all that. Just by looking at the screen and comparing it to the original, it's next impossible to go back to the original screen. Just impossible, because the difference is that stark, that immense. The game that launched the OLED was Metroid Dread, and it showcases it beautifully. The blacks are far deeper, the colors vivid, and with a nice, fantastic contrast too. It really has to be seen to be believed, particularly when propped up next to the original. I mean, I'm holding it up, but you can't tell from here. There are some other minor changes too, like better sound and a far improved kickstand. As you can see here, the last one was a bit lame and not steady whatsoever, flimsy. So they revamped this to be more flexible with your angles and to cover far more surface area to really support the system when you're playing. Also included in the box is an improved dock, which looks roughly the same, but now adds a LAN port, so you're not reliant on Wi-Fi anymore, if that's a concern. You've lost the inner USB port now, but I gather most people use that as a LAN adapter anyway, so it should make it life a little bit easier, right? I believe, although I haven't seen it here, that the new dock can also be bought separately as well, should that interest you. Inside the Switch, sadly, no changes. Everything is exactly the same, so don't expect massive improvements with the Switch OLED in terms of performance. Everything will run exactly the same, and by my estimation, battery is roughly the same too as the enhanced model, that's version 2, although it does vary on what you're playing, brightness, speakers, and all of that. There's not much more else to say really about the new Switch OLED. So again, is it worth it? Like I mentioned, if it's your first Switch, you can't go wrong with the OLED model. Equally so, if you bought the Switch Lite and you're looking at getting a Switch that can plug into your TV and have a nifty screen upgrade, this is also, in my opinion, definitely the one for you. However, if you have the original one, this is a bit tricky, or even the enhanced version 2, that's where it's subjective. If you play predominantly on the TV, don't bother. There's absolutely no reason to change. However, if you mainly use your Switch on the go, then it's seriously worth considering. Only in that scenario will you feel the difference, similar in ways to, say, upgrading a new phone. In fact, it's why I got one. I had the original, the first one that came out, and as borders open, I'm going to be traveling for work more frequently, including a 5-week overseas trip at the end of November. I had the original one, like I said, so with now a better screen, improved kickstand, and a similar battery to the enhanced version 2 Switch, it just made sense for me. In terms of price, they do vary here since Nintendo didn't officially release it, but for comparison's sake, it's 1,280 ringgit if you get the enhanced version 2 with a better battery, and about 1,850 ringgit for the OLED model. It's a rough approximation. A Switch Lite is the cheapest at usually less than 800 ringgit, but all these prices do vary a bit from store to store. Question I'm going to ask again, actually I'm going to ask you now, will you be getting one? Shoot off in the comments right now, and don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Bye for now.